Hello viewers, today we are going to start the STAAD PRO software. So after the installations, the icon of the STAAD PRO software will look like that on your dashboard. So we are clicking on the icon. Now the software will be run. This is the dashboard of the software. This is the title bar. In this title bar, the software series and their designation will be displayed. The STAAD PRO V8i Series 6 help bar is there. This is actually the toolbar. Drop down that bar, you got the different functions to operate that tools. The help bar is there. Now we are already viewing all that contents related to the how to open the software and all that things. But here we are just repeat some session. The new project, while you are going to start the new project, there will be the new project is here. Open project, the previous projects you are those were saved just like this recent files. So you are open the previous project, open from the project wise. So here the project wise you are open. Configurations, there will be the license configurations are there. It is related to the what unit you are select, what input output file formats you require. That all the configurations will be there. That will be seen later. Basically the unit having the two types, English units and metric units. So while you are download that software, that times the software asks you which type of the unit you are preferred for the operation purpose. So that times I was select the metric unit, so that's why here by default the matrix units will be there. Then apply and accept. Okay. Breakup manager, there will be the backup files when we are, it will be continuously ask you to save that file after the 5-minute sequence. Auto save is there, then manual save is there. So likewise, then license management, it will be required the license keys and all that things. So the project task is most important task is to start the new project, and here the license configurations. This is also very important because of the software is a work on the license configuration only. What sets of the configurations you are used to run your project, it is very important to understand. And according to the this configuration, the software will be analyze your project. So this is the most important point to understand the software configurations and select the software configurations as per the requirement. Now the recent file you got in this section, whatever the files you was open before that, the recent file connections you are viewing on in these sections. The whatever the work you are done related to that file, you are able to directly open from these sections. Okay. We open again. Okay, so our first step is to select the new project. As we already discussed, the space is the which we are used for the 3D purpose, because we are whatever the we are work, the element, they are already in the 3D. The plane which we are used for the plane plates for the 2D dimensions, X and Y plane is only. Floor, some ready-made floors and wizards, the software wizards are provided. The floors having their Z direction is also there, but the thickness is very less. The truss, the ready-made truss are provided by the software. So while we are going to prepare the any structures, first we select the space and we provide the name for that. Project number 0. Okay, and we fix the locations where we want to place that files through the locations. Here the length unit, first we select the length unit. While we are download that software, that times you are already select the units, that the metric units. Then here the by default the meter and kilonewton combination is there. While you are selecting the millimeter, then you are selecting the newton. This is the fashion of the IS code to represent the units. Length units they represent with the force unit. Okay, then we go next. Then the software asks you where do you want to go. So first we go for the beam, because here whatever the geometrical structure we are creating, so that structure is the combination of the beam, slab and columns. But in the STAAD PRO, as we discussed already, all the vertical and horizontal members are considered as a beam. And the beams, all the beams are joined by the node. So we want to add the plates, we want to add the solid, we want to go for the software wizard. There will be the ready-made elements are provided, STAAD editor is there. So these are the different aspects of the project. Edit job informations, whatever the informations we are already given to the software. So here first we go for to add the beam and we go for the finish. So this is the first display of this dashboard. This is your working space. This is your toolbar. Drop down options are there. This is the title bar. Here the name of the project number 1. And these are the 3 lines. First row, second row, third row. These are all the toolbar lines. And these are the page setup lines. These are the some another toolbar lines that you are also move and place here and manage the space, whatever the space is remaining. Lots of minor toolbar. So you got the extra space over here. All the tools bars you can arrange in this line. Okay, so all the 3 lines are representing the toolbars for which is help to create the geometry, to play with that geometry, to do all the activities with that geometry. And this is the page setup. What are the different pages, the setup and plates, beams. But generally we are when you are open the software, you are in the geometry, because you want to develop the geometry. You make the combinations of the beams, columns and slab and create that geometry. So before starting this, after the open this page is known as the snap node or beam method or grid method. So this is the grid. The view of the grid is in isometric form. Whatever the view of this grid is in the isometric form, and the unit between this grid is generally the 1 meter, because you are selecting the meter. Okay, so here simple, you can able to change the units, feet, meter, whatever according to your requirement. So while we are open this grid, here you can view the snap node / beam is open. Once you can close it, then it will be disappear. So our first step is to open this snap node / beam options, or we can say the grid method is there, and we start to create the drawings. In this grid you can view while we are moving the cursor, it will be stopped only on the junction, not in between this. It will be stop here, it will be stop here, but not in this line, between this line. Okay. While you are simply click anywhere, the node will be generated. That node identity is, it is having some coordinate from some reference lines. So this node, here you can view the y-axis, this is your y-axis, x-axis, this is your x-axis, so we are representing through this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis, and the z-axis will be in this direction. And this node is having some coordinate. Suppose the coordinate of the node is x-axis coordinate is the 5. So while you are writing that node, the node number is there first, number 1, comma, first 5, second 5, and third one becomes 0. So this is the coordinate of this node. Okay. We go deeply. First try to understand the terminology of this grid. Okay, this grid is generally which is help you to create the geometry according to your requirements. We are able to move that grid along with these different views. Now the view you are viewing on the screen for this grid is the isometric view. This is the isometric view. Once you can go here and click, the view will be not change. So it is in the by default in the isometric view. In the isometric view, you are viewing the 3D dimensions of the picture. Once you can go here, then this is the view from -y. So here you can understand, this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis, this is your z-axis. Z-axis is the towards you, or the towards the screen of this. So once we can click here is the -y. So we look the grid from the top and we place the grid, this yellow portion you can understand, this is the grid, and you are looking from this side, you are looking from the top, and this yellow portion as a consider as a grid. So once you select the isometric view, the number is 0 to 10, and once you can viewing from this direction, -y direction, -y direction. So this plane will be looking from 0 to 10 only. Here 0 and 10 in these positions, and here only the 10. Why the 0 and 10 is there? Because this 10 is also overlap in this 0, and this 10 you are representing this 0, this 10 is overlap on this 0, and this 10 you are looking from this side, you are looking from this side, and you view this plane line here 0 plus 10, then 1 2 3, likewise that up to the 10. So what view you are viewing, it is the important. You can view from the any side, minus y plus y, this is the positive y, minus x, sorry, plus x, then minus x, then minus z and plus z. So in the isometric view you are looking from the front, so you go for the plus z. Once you can look that view from the back side, your geometry you want to look from the back side, you go for the minus z. You look your geometry from the left side, you look your geometry from the right side, you look your geometry from the top view, this is bottom view, this is the isometric view of the entire geometry. I hope so you all understand these tools which you are help you to viewing your geometry from the all sides. Okay, so while we are preparing the geometry on this grid, that times it will be helpful to us. The next is just again view from the front and make a line, straight horizontal line. This is our x-axis, this is our y-axis, x y-axis, and the z is towards you. This is the z-axis, actually it is towards the screen, z-axis. Okay, so here you can understand this horizontal line is representing the x-axis, the horizontal line which is representing the x-axis, and we want to rotate this grid along with this x-axis in a front directions, or we can say the clockwise or anti-clockwise directions. Actually here the clockwise direction along the axis is you are looking, the grid will be rotate along the x direction in this way. After the some point, the grid will be, this distance will be minimized, and it is truly horizontal with the x-axis. Yes, you can rotate it. Look it will be truly horizontal because the grid is totally in the horizontal position. After we can rotations from down, so it will be rotated from the down to the top in these directions, and we again got our previous view, which is similarly rotate from the left along the y-axis. Here you can understand, rotate from the left along the y-axis, rotate from the right along the y-axis, rotate that entire grid with the clockwise and anti-clockwise. Spin from left to the right, spin from right to the left. Okay, the toggle, this is actually the toggle view rotation mode. The screen will rotate along this, and you are able to shift that origin point. You are able to shift it here according to your requirement. That will be view later, how to shift and all that. There will be some functions. Okay, whatever the functions you are play with this grid, and if you want to reset or you want to delete it, you are able to delete it according to your AutoCAD functions, select and delete. The similar functions you are use. Otherwise, you just click here. You are in the origin of this. You are in the origin of this. Okay. Now the software is always ask you to save your work after the 5 minutes or 3 minutes interval, as we are already viewing to how to set that interval. Now we are going to start to prepare the geometry or to prepare the drawings. Okay, so whenever you are going to start this geometry preparations, the geometry will be starting from the node. Here the two cursors you can visualize. One is the plus sign and another is the cross signs. The cross signs which is the actual cursor, and the plus signs which is indicate where you are create the node. The node which is always create in the intersection of this grid. It is not create anywhere at the center of this square or the center of this square. It is always move according to the intersections points on the grid. Okay, so here we are going to place first node. Just simply click on 0 0. Once we want to place at 1, then the one there is also the node will be generated. Second, there is also the node will be generated. Third, we want to go anywhere on this intersection on the grid. We are move anywhere on the grid, we are able to place the node over there. Then again the third, fourth, fifth. Likewise that your AutoCAD drawings, the continuous line or polylines you are creating. And again we will just select the single node. We want to disable this line and the continuous work, then we just click the escape button, so the node will be generated over here. This is the dark black points which is representing the node. And once we are disappear this grid, the node which is here, we want to again appear the grid and understand the coordinate of that node. So the node is on 0 0. We want to check the number of that node, then we have the function control n. Shift n. Shift n the represent the number for this node. Here is the one number is there. You can view from 30. This is. Again you can press the shift and the number will be disappear. The 1 is the represent because you are selecting the only one node, or you are start your drawing from the first node. So the number 1 is representing your node number, your work, your first work, which is starting from the drawing. Then after that you will go here, here. Without connecting the beam, you are creating the node on the different coordinate level. So this node number is the 1 and its coordinate is the 0, 0, 0, x0, y0 and z0. This node is representing the second and its coordinate is the y2, x0, z0. This coordinate is the 3, 3, x3, y3 and z0. Okay, this is having the different coordinate. So likewise that you can understand the node and their coordinate. Again the software will be asked to save your work. Okay, so you can disappear the grid. We got that all the nodes on the screen. You want to check the number of the node. Then this was draw first, so that's why it is first. This is second, then third, then fourth, 5, 6, 7. Whatever was drawn randomly, it will be this and it will be appear the number according to that number. Okay. Now after understanding the node numbers, we have to understand the node cursor. Individual node cursor. Okay. So once you can okay, you want to view that nodes because here only the numbers are visible. Suppose you are disappear that things. Numbers. Okay, the nodes are represented. You want to select that node. You are not able to select it through this. You are not able to select it. Whatever your previous work is there, it will be always saved. Once the work you want to don't want to move anywhere, or you don't want to go anywhere, then you just click over here. The previous work will be disappear. Okay, the node cursor is there. Through that node cursor, you are able to visualize all the nodes. Those who are not visualized before. Once you can select this cursor, this is a regular cursor, and you just join that node through the beam. randomly. And once you can move, you don't want to go anywhere, then you just press escape. Then your geometry will be complete. In this geometry, once you can click here, it will be represent the beam number 1, beam number 2, because we are starting from this point. In this way we go in this way and complete the geometry over here, beam number 6. So once you want to visualize all the nodes with the beam number, then you press shift N for the node and shift B for the beam. So your node number is your beam number 1 is this, between the node number 7 to node number 6. Your beam number 2 is the between the node number 6 to node number 3. Your beam number 3 is between the node number 3 to 4. Because we are here the randomly go and the number of the node which is differ than the number of the beams, it will be not match, because our flow of the to arrangement of the beam is different and our flow of the arrangement of the node is different. This work we are already first draw the nodes randomly, and we are randomly draw the beams according to the grid of the node. So that's why the number will be not match. If you are thinking about this number 1, this number 2, this number 3, this number 4, node number 4, node number 5, node number 6, node number 7, then node number 8, that we are already randomly selected. So that's why the number will be differ, and we are starting our work from this number, node number 7 to 6, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 8, then again 7. So that's why the number of the beam will be differ than the number of node. So here we want to view, to select the beam. So all the beams are select. We want to select only this beam, then we click simply between that. Here the 3 colors of the beam is represented: green color, blue color and red color. It is depend on when you are join that beam. Suppose here we go this node to this node. We move from left to the right. So while you are clicking on this beam, the color which is first color is the green, then red, then blue. Means starting point is represent a green, middle is the red, and end point of the beam is represented by the blue. In between these 2 nodes. So that's color code you must have to understand. The starting point of the beam, once you can understand, then simply you just move the cursor on that beam. They are representing the what is the starting point and what is the end point. This is also because we are moving from this side to this side, this side to this side, then this side to this side. So that's why you can understand how you are complete the geometry. What is your starting point of the beam and what is the end point of the beam, that you understand through this. Okay, I hope so that much of the basics you are understanding.